start, and he'll join us in a minute. All right, welcome everyone to the City of St. Mary's, Georgia, for our City Council meeting for June 3rd, 2024. So welcome everyone online and especially here in public, and thank you, Council, for being here. We are going to have our invocation from Councilmember Stephen Connor.
Dear Father in heaven, thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to be on City Council and try to make a difference in our community, Lord. Watch over and guide us as we make the decisions that we think are best for the majority of the citizens, Lord. Watch over and guide us and keep us safe. And just let us do the very best we possibly can. In these things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Very nicely said. All right. Madam Clerk,
Yes, sir.
can we have the roll call, please?
Yes. Councilman Jones, post 1.
I'm here.
Councilman Connor, post 2.
Present.
Councilman Ingram, post 3.
Here.
Councilman Riley, post 4.
Present.
Councilman Rassi, post 5.
Present.
Councilman James, post 6.
Here.
Mayor Morrissey.
I'm here.
Sir, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, so we will approve minutes next meeting. Because we don't have the meeting for the 20th.
What about?
So the 20th were good. It was just the 6th, right? Turn back. Yeah.
But they're not in the
Yeah.
package.
You don't see them. Okay. Okay, you can
I
move
don't
to
think
next
they, oh, wait a minute, are those the minutes that you told me about? Everyone else has got them?
one. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so they're the voters anyhow. So, all right, thank you. We're not going to vote on the May 6 minutes, but can I have a motion on the May 20th minutes, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, so Mr. Rassi and a second from Mr. Jones. Any corrections, additions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous.
Yes, sir.
And that represents 6 today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And so I'm going to be shocking Mr. Jones. I'm going to welcome Mr. Connor, Mr. Blackerby. Thank you, sir, for coming down.
Wow.
We appreciate it.
You better go play the lottery tonight. I'm saying.
Yeah, I still haven't heard about my duck from the Rotary race. Somebody might know that.
It wasn't your duck, I can tell you that.
I had 2 ducks, though.
I didn't either.
Neither one. Okay, well, okay, I'm sorry, I'll be serious. All right, so under presentations, board announcements, the St. Mary's Hospital Authority, and we have a board appointments, term expirations for the Camden County Board of Education, Sex Education Instructional Review Committee. That's been on here for quite some time, and there may be someone in the city who has I think the interest, but also and maybe the understanding that they might be able to help with that. So we would ask you please to consider. And if you have any questions, you can see the city clerk, and she'll help you with the application form if you're interested. Thank you. And now we're going to move to report of authorities, boards, and commissions. And our finance director's report is Margaret. Thank you. Margaret Mesmer. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You will find in your,
Is it green marker?
no. I don't want to get in trouble.
I thought I could have you pretty good.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You will find included in your council packet the finance report for the period ending April the 30th, which is the 10th month of the fiscal year of 2024. Do you have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Margaret and I did talk previously about our available cash history graphs, and I just want to make sure everyone understands our work just to make sure we knew how the numbers were changing. You can see from January to February, there was a significant uptick in those funds, and that was due to the ARPA transfers. And then essentially after that, we have been adjusting to something that's more in line with what we typically see. But fortunately, our April FY 2024 number is above all of the others, so we're staying strong and being prepared. So
Yes,
I
sir.
just wanted you all to understand why the number looks so extraordinary and why it came down a bit. But if you graph it from January to April, it still looks good. Good. How about anybody else?
Thanks. Good report.
You're good? Tell everybody thank you.
All right, thank
We
you.
appreciate it. All right, council, we will need to set the consent agenda. We have no old business, and under new business, we have, item A is this new City Hall professional services, architectural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing demolition phase.
Consent.
And then we have the new item B is the new City Hall renovation, professional service, architectural, structural, and mechanical, electrical, plumbing, final design.
Consent.
Item C is the St. Mary's Aquatic Center Swimming Lessons, Georgia Swim School, LLC.
Consent.
Item D is the rezoning request for the Charlie Senior Highway and St. Mary's Road from R3 to C2 from Inman Solar Incorporated.
Consent.
All right, item E, again, excuse me, special use permit for Inman Solar Incorporated, Charlie Senior Highway and St. Mary's Road for solar energy production facility.
Consent.
Consent.
Item F, a rezoning request from R1, Phase 2 of recreational vehicle report for tax parcels 135 through 135-23D.
Discussion.
All right, and a preliminary plat request for Prime Properties recreational vehicle resort for tax parcels from 135-020 to 135-023. I think the two of them fit together.
Yeah, they do, so-
Okay.
One discussion for both.
So, then we have a rezoning request for tax parcels 135 RRB 260 to 134B 262 for changing R1 to manufactured housing.
Consent.
And then we have a preliminary plat request for Prime Properties for manufactured housing. It's under the same auspices of 135B 260 to 135B 262.
Consent.
Item J is an ordinance amendment, Chapter 110 on zoning for highway, commercial, and community. It's the C2 Highway, Commercial, and Community. So we had the workshop on.
Consent.
Consent.
And then item K is the police K-9 donation acceptance purchase of 2021 Chevrolet Silverado. And I think we'd like the public to hear
How
the
that was-
story, Chief, if you don't mind. Okay. And then item L is a memorandum of agreement, Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.
Consent.
And then we need to discuss the quarterly master plan and the town hall meeting date. If we gotta move that. Okay, so as usual, please check me on this.
Gotcha.
So our consent agenda is consisting of new business A, B, C, D, E, H, I, J, and L.
Correct.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Make a motion, we do the consent agenda as read.
Second.
All right, I got Mr. Riley and Mr. Ingram. Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Madam Clerk, mark that as unanimous.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
council. All right, and I need a motion now to approve the agenda as set.
Moved it, could approve the agenda as sent.
All right, Mr.
Second.
James, and a second from Mr. Ingram. Any comments on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Madam Clerk, that's also
Yes, sir.
unanimous. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to move to granting audience to the public. This is on the agenda items only, and we'd ask you to come up and give your name and address and respect a 5-minute time limit. Thank you.
Ethelbert Seals, 816 Riverview Drive, West, St. Mary's. I am speaking in reference to item F as in Foxtrot. I'm looking at the preliminary plat and the recommendations. I'm looking at those recommendations. I've been to the zoning planning committee meeting. I want to make sure there's a few things that are really that stuck out to me that it needs to be adhered to. And if you go to where the planning commission recommends approval with the following conditions. There's some good conditions that I want to point out. Number 3 is a developer's agreement shall be enacted with the city to assist in bringing water and sewer connections to the surrounding neighborhood via Beverly and Sand Hill Street. Number 5 is conditions of approval for the accompanying rezoning application be revised to read as follows. I'm going back to number 3. That's my key concern. There's everything up and down Sand Hill and probably Beverly is all septic and well water. So if this developer wants to do this, I think that you guys need to stay put and make sure that whoever the developer is, adhere to the approval for the following condition. Again, a developer's agreement shall be enacted with the city to assist in bringing water and sewer connections to the surrounding neighborhood via Beverly and Sand Hill streets. That is my key with that. There's some other things I'm not too happy with, but I know there's an area there right now just pretty much, it needs to be developed. Don't get me wrong. I'm in all favor with that. I don't have a problem with it. But I want, again, that sewer connection and supplying water to that neighborhood. I want to make sure that has been done. That is the key for all of this. Thank you. Oh, I want to kind of step off a little bit because I had to go to a vacation Bible school. I'm teaching on that. I want to kind of thank the manager and his assistant in reference when they had the opening of the senior center. I was rushing back and forth with that. And when I came out, it was very windy. And one of the things I always made sure, off to the side, something when you're smoking, you need to quit that smoking, man. I want you to be around for a long time.
Thank you. I'm going to make an exception. Just to see.
That when it was breezy, and I was getting to my vehicle, and the flags were flying. I mean, I didn't sleep when I came in because it was nice and calm. When I was coming out, it was like the good Lord said, yeah, you asked them to do this. Guess what? It's flying. And it's like, it came to, I looked at this thing for what, like a good minute watching. I'm like, wow, the flags are flying at City Hall. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Who's next?
Ken Jolly, 102 Saltgrass Trace. Mr. Mayor, Council, City Support Team, regarding item J, the ordinance amendment regarding our C2 Highway Commercial and Community District, I followed that entire process very closely and attended the work sessions. Went to the Planning Commission meetings when our Director of Community Service made her presentation. And initially, it looked like maybe it was just a small project. Needed to change one particular item in there. There was an oversight. However, our director went through that, line by line, paragraph by paragraph, the process grew. The task got very large. After reading the final rendition of the C2 ordinance, I was more than impressed. Our director, in my opinion, put out an extraordinary effort, far beyond what was required to make the necessary changes, did a lot of research, and her team, of course, supported her very well. I think she deserves a round of applause for doing such a good job for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for that. Who's next?
Larry White, 102 Sylvia's Court, St. Mary's. First thing is, even though it's not part of the agenda as stated, it was about the finance report. I looked at the packet. I looked at your package online, and all of her finance report was blank. All those pages was blank online, so we could not even read her finance report online.
One page.
Next item, items F and G. I looked at the package, and your contractor stating that he's only going to have 170 sites for his park. But if you read the state requirement, the state requirement is 180 sites that he could have in the park. Now, which was way more restrictive, the city or the state? I know you can answer that. Final question I have, and Mr. Ingram, this is nothing against you. Item K, when you vote on item K, because you are purchasing the vehicle from Bennett Chevrolet.
Oh, abstain.
Okay, that was my question. I would think you would abstain in that vote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Who would be next? Thank you, folks. Okay. So we can move into the agenda, and the first item is item F, is the rezoning request from R1 Single Family Residential to RVD Recreational Vehicle and Travel Trailer Park District, Phase 2 of Recreational Vehicle Resort Prime Properties for tax parcels 135-020 through 135-023D. Mr. Hort, never mind.
I am here.
Ms. Stein, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank
How are
you.
you doing? Thank you,
Welcome.
Mr. Jelly. Thank you for all your participation and your kind words. Much appreciated.
Yes, ma'am. I think Somebody here on council had a question? So
I can,
yes, sir.
I can give a little recap if
Yeah,
you'd
that would
like. This is a project which came to the city in two phases. Phase one of this luxury proposed RV resort was approved with a rezoning about a year and a half ago, I would say. Phase two just recently came before the Planning Commission. Together, the two phases represent 233 spaces. Okay? The total, all phases, are actually coming in below the amount of spaces that our zoning ordinance would allow. So the proposal is actually less dense than the acreage that the park consists of would allow.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a problem. That's good.
Was that your question?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
felt like we needed a detailed submission on it, and she did that.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say for the public that, many of the comments that you received in your packet, as well as comments that we've received at the office, have a concern around how do we ensure that the resort it maintains compliance in terms of being a tourism attraction in which the individuals that patronize the park come and go, that it doesn't become a permanent dwelling space. And that's something that we've worked on quite a bit in the department to just ensure that people understand that travel trailers, recreational vehicles, these are not permitted types of permanent dwellings in the city. The proposed development has a set of restrictions and covenants, as well as policies and procedures for the park. And we're even working on ways in which we can, utilizing the newer technology for how these resort spaces are booked, to be able to audit the resorts, and so that code compliance can easily see how long certain vehicles have been in the park. So we're trying to work not just on this resort, but the two other travel trailer or recreational vehicle spaces we do have in the city.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. On that subject,
Yes.
what is the ordinance, or what, is there is it 30, 45 days? Is there a set number of days? that we
It's
monitor?
actually 180 days.
180 days.
180 days.
Is that, yeah, I just know in Athens, there's a luxury RV park. It's primarily used for tailgating, but it's got lots of nice spaces, and I believe it's a lot lower term. It's like 45 days is the max.
Yeah, I mean, our ordinance states 180 days, and that's actually stated per floodplain requirement. So, I think that if we were to look, and I thank Mr. White for raising this, but looking at some other state statutes just to see and make sure that we're doing all that we can do.
So after 180 days, how many days do they have to be out to come right back?
We don't have any language on that. One of the things that, I do want to call to the attention of this particular resort, the proposal, and the developers here, to also speak to the council if you'd like, but the rate for an evening of stay is on average $140 a night. So I don't envision I don't envision a 365-day stay.
Well, a lot of those parks, I don't know if there's they do have a monthly charge that is different than an average nightly charge. Is that going to be the case? Like if you have a monthly or weekly charge?
Can we ask Mr. Rutkowski?
Yes, thank you. To comply with the 180-day, and then how do we monitor that? As Jamie stated, at $140 a night, you don't get a lot of people. If you start doing the multiplication, they could buy a house and put a down payment on it for what it would be. So you just don't see in the industry with rates from 140 to 180 that people are going to write a check and stay there that long. Plus they're travelers and they want to move on and go somewhere else. And then, as far as the discounting, we're very, luxury RV resorts are very booked up. Sun Properties, one of the largest in the nation, has most of their newer properties booked for a year and a half in advance. So then, because of so much need for them, you don't get a lot of discount. You get about a 5% discount for staying there a month. It's, it's a little bit compelling, but, realistically, we have so many people that are interested in staying. One of the things I'd like to add is that we did have the support from tourism here in the community at the last planning meeting, and that when we did the assumption of how much money would be coming into tourism, it's about $500,000 a year that'll be into their budget. Also, our taxes to the city are going to be $500,000 based on what the resort will be worth. So we have worked very intensely with both Jamie and Tage, and we worked real closely with, they would get me any of the comments from people that lived in the area, and we would solve them. There was concerns of smoke direction with fires, and we just eliminated that by going to gas-only fire pits. We put in a park off Beverly, anybody in the community can use. So there was, we met with Chris Cox. I mean, we have put in a lot of time to work with the community on this, and great thanks to Jamie and Tage and the Planning Commission for that. But
Mr. Witkowski, do you have assuming all goes smoothly here tonight, do you have a groundbreaking date?
Well, no, because really your next steps in this are getting that development agreement done. We've got to go back and meet with Chris Cox on, a joint agreement possibly to get that water and sewer back over into the neighboring properties to the north. So there's continuing steps. Along with that, there's funding. So now we've got to, you can't really tackle funding until you have all the, approvals in place that would happen tonight. So it's kind of probably another year, off, lending doesn't do something like this in 5 minutes, so more like 5 months. So, yeah. But I think it'll be a great asset for the community. We usually spend about $10,000 a month on advertising, and when you think about it, we're advertising for the community. I think you're going to see a lot of influx into the downtown, because a lot of people, Cumberland, taking the ferry, and then they're utilizing the shops. And typically, the people are looking for that. They're not as much looking for Ruby Tuesdays and, all that. They may pull in and eat at Ruby Tuesdays, but then they're off to discovering what's in the area. So, I'm sure we'll work real closely with tourism. We've talked already a couple of times, and because we don't want to duplicate advertising, but getting them from when they check in, a whole packet on getting them downtown is something that we have to start talking about.
We have an awesome tourism director.
I know you. She's here. Yeah.
And so I can see that package in your center there for your residents.
Well, we could give it to them right when they check in, because we usually give them a whole package, and then we could give them a package to get them downtown. So, yeah, I think it could be a good thing for all of us.
Any other questions, Council?
Yes. Jamie, you always do a great job, and my hat's off to you as usual. And I don't have a problem with the trailer park, but I want to go back to, I was just thinking about what Mr. Seals said. I used to live on Sand Hill Road back, I think I moved out there in 1978, and the city annexed us in the 80s and didn't give us any services. And I think finally they gave us water after about 7 or 8 years. And I'm just concerned that we have a new developer coming in, and you're going to offer services to him, and I want to make sure that the people in that area have access to will be able to get sewer as well whenever they are running sewer and water lines out to that subdivision.
So why don't we let the, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Why don't we let the city manager, I don't know if you're prepared to address it fully. But
If you'll remember, Mr. Jones, and for the good of the council, because most of you are unaware, one of our target areas is the Sand Hill area, and CBDG grants. I'm sorry, I was trying to pull that one out. That we've been looking, working on that, and that is one of the target areas to be able to get that even further extended down for those residents.
I just want to make sure that we don't overlook the citizens that's here.
No, sir.
Just to clarify, I did see that was one of the conditions. Okay, and then can we just go backwards, because it's a RV park and not
Travel trailer park.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. And then, as far as the CBDG, we're actually in better position as a result of that plan first. Okay.
Yeah, and Attorney Blackerby reminds me that if you do move to approve, please, in your motion, approve with the conditions put forward by the Planning Commission, so that we can ensure those are in there.
Yep. I'll just comment that I am glad we had discussion on this item. Just, going into it, you have a lot of citizens that see something coming and, oh, danger, there's something coming, and then it gets dismissed as a trailer park going across the street, and then people say, I've seen a lot of Facebook discussion that, oh, what about crime to the area? I mean, a luxury RV park really doesn't bring crime. I'm an RVer myself, and this looks like a top-notch, luxury RV park that is coming. And hearing the rates, you understand that it's bringing a, the transient retired campers and people like myself that still like to RV, even though we're not retired yet when we can. But no, it's a good addition. It seems like so.
Great.
In other words, you're saying it's not for poor people.
Okay. Anybody? Yes.
Yeah, there's just one more thing that also is a result of just some citizen questions / feedback, and just so that we could clarify it for them. And I know it's very fundamental, but the question comes up, why not this stretch of land over here? Why not that stretch of land over there? Why are we doing it here at this particular point? And just to reiterate the fact that we don't decide what goes where if it's owned by, a private citizen. Could you explain how it came to be in that area, just briefly?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you just sort of my perspective on it, and then if the developer wants to speak as well, he could. I think that to get a site of this magnitude, of this scale, you have to go to parts of the cities that are not so densely developed. But as you say, we as a city, we give a framework and a set of parameters for how private property can be developed, and we do that through our zoning code. And so this development is aligned with our zoning code. And when staff reviews rezoning proposals such as this one, we do look at certain things. I mean, ideally, you want to be around signalized traffic if you're going to have a lot of traffic coming and going, and so this is right at a light. This type of use, I think, is best for both those visiting, but also for the residents to be off the road, not right on the road. One of the things that the developer rendered for this project was, if you are traveling on Route 40 towards Kingsland, you will not see, and you look as you're crossing Burrell Creek or Dark Entry Creek, and you look to the north, you'll see vegetation. You won't see the park. So a lot of effort was put into making this a destination, and I think that's probably why that location was sought after.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, so let me ask a question. The caveat that needs to be added, does it go to item F or item G? Or both?
Or for each of them, if you want to have a motion to approve, I would recommend framing it as a motion to approve subject to the conditions as recommended by Planning Commission.
Right, okay.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready to move, or
I'll
are we doing?
make that motion then.
Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So, this
Wait,
is for
state
item
it.
F.
Item F.
Okay, item F, subject to the conditions of the planning commission as has been promulgated, right?
You have
Okay,
to state
so
that.
I have a motion from
Second.
Mr. Jones, and I have a second from Mr. Riley. Any further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous. Now
Yes,
we
sir.
need a motion for item G.
A motion for item G to approve with the recommendations from the Planning Commission?
Subject,
Subject to conditions, special conditions?
subject to the conditions.
Subject to special conditions?
All right, all right.
All of that? Does that cover it? Are we good now?
Oh, gosh.
So, motion to approve, subject to the
Motion to approve,
conditions
so the conditions
recommended by Planning Commission.
Planning Commission. There we go. Bam.
All right, I'm going to second it, just to make sure can I second it with, I would like to second his motion to approve, subject to the conditions approved by the Planning Commission.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Does that work?
That's exactly what I said.
I'm so glad you two are in sync. That's great. All right, any
my.
discussions about this? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous.
Yes, sir.
And, there's been quite a bit of conversations about a lot of this new development. And we've been, particularly, I think, our staff, community development, have really helped us to make sure that we are making sure that we have a broad spectrum of affordability, but at the same time, that can all be a quality development that's well-maintained and respects the homeowner or the renter or the short-time and short-stay people. And I think we have both of those. These are new to St. Mary's, and we'll see how they work. And, we're quite proud to have them. Thank you. So the next one, I've asked myself if Chief Galloway, or if you want to bring the captain up with you, you're welcome. I think he's comfortable down there by himself. But this is about the police canine donation. I'm going to leave it at that and let you explain to everybody what's happened.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As we've been progressing with our vehicle situation, our spare canine unit is a 2014 F-150 that has about 106,000 miles on it, and it's to the point it's not patrol worthy anymore. So the plan we came up with was to take our Tahoe, and the Canine Foundation will give us the insert that's required for the dogs with the heat alarms, everything such as that. That part's donated. So we needed to replace that Tahoe, and in the process of that, we found a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado, has 6,400 miles on it. It was a lease truck on base. It's in excellent condition. So we, when we have contact with our canine supporter, they always ask, hey, is there anything you need? And we needed to replace this vehicle. So they wrote us a check for $45,000. That is to equip and upfit the truck, mark and put a few lights on the Tahoe that it would need to be patrol worthy. And they were more than happy to do it. So that cost, the $45,000 will take care of equipping both vehicles and having them on the road.
Awesome.
So, at a minimum, we pass along our thank you to the whomever's there, and we ask that you take that message back.
Yes, sir. We will. We've been very thankful for them, and I think they understand and glad to help.
Anybody have any more, questions about this at some point in time?
Really appreciate both of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarge.
Sure, that's a relationship that you've called, so that's good.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time we had a canine unit come and just visit for a little bit? It's been quite a while.
We can arrange that, sir.
You think one of them?
We might know somebody.
Well, okay.
You talking about to a council meeting or during the day, or what you want to do?
When would you like them? We'll get together on that.
Okay.
I think that the public would like that.
Okay.
I think a lot of them don't understand exactly what that unit's all about. so we can have a little explanation, I think, about how they're trained to do what they're supposed to do. I think a lot of us really don't know.
And we'll be more than happy to come here with them, but also just kind of give everybody a heads up on July 4th. We will have a couple of them at the festival down there, just, you know, as heat allows, and we have to get them out and let them take breaks and stuff, but we plan on having some down there just for demonstration purposes and whatnot.
So while we've got our gentleman up here, does anybody want to make a motion? Mr. Jones, is the motion
Second.
to accept the generous donation. And second?
Second.
Second.
All right, I got second from Ms. James. I'm sorry, Mr. Conner. Okay. And any further comment?
Oh, further comment? Just thank you for everything that you do. I mean, I was making notes and it said you found the vehicle. I mean, I think the vehicle found you through your relationships that you built. So we really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It's a good teamwork.
He know a man.
You done good, Captain Epperson. You done well. You done well.
Actually, Captain found it, but we'll go on, we'll roll with it.
Next time he should do more of a speaking part. You know, you do a great job, but you know, you brought him along. He should do the presentation next time. Well, no, the next one, you know, like maybe he'll tell us about the K-9 program. I know, that's why I said the next one, and give him some preparation.
What would you like to talk about?
All right.
Thank y'all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Congratulations, folks.
Thank you.
When does all this happen?
You abstain?
Oh, yeah, okay. One, Madam Clerk, I have 5 yeas and 1 abstention from Mr. Ingram.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. When does all this come together?
When does it? You say when does it?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
He's not joking about that, sir.
He's been waiting, just waiting for the approval.
Okay. So the last item we have on the regular agenda is the third quarter master plan, a town hall meeting, and obviously July 4th is a holiday, so I think we could start with the week after that, which is the week of, sorry, not there yet. Week of July 8th. You all got a preference, because we usually do it,
I'm good on
ma'am.
that day.
We do it on is it Thursday? We do it normally?
No.
Wednesday.
What do you mean, we don't?
No, I can't do it the 8th.
Oh,
On the,
okay.
I can't do it the following Thursday, because I have a 4th of July committee meeting and festival meeting,
Post meeting?
Yeah.
and I need to make sure I'm there for
How
that.
about
On the 8th?
The 10th?
10th I can do.
That's a Wednesday, everyone?
I don't know my schedule next week, so I guess that's as good as day as any.
Same time, same station?
I think I'm okay.
5 o'clock and 6 o'clock for Wednesday, July 10th. I'm moving this peanut down the road. How are we doing? Is everybody good?
Sir.
Yeah, that's
Well, I won't be.
What's the 10th? No, it's gonna be.
When will you be back?
Saturday.
Sounds familiar. It's a Wednesday.
July 10th on Wednesday.
Oh, I thought it was.
When
the
you
13th.
going?
Yeah, I can do it on the.
I'm beating you. So you're going to be out after that?
Yes.
Okay, so when do you want to try and have it?
Go ahead and try to do it when you can. If I can make it here, I'll make it.
We can zoom in.
Okay. All right, why don't we do, now that will be, there'll be 5, is that okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Madam Clerk, we're moving it to July 10th, 5 and 6 o'clock for quarterly master plan and town hall meeting. If that's okay, well, we can have a motion.
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Rassi and a second from Mr. Riley. All in favor?
Aye.
Giving away
Opposed?
money.
Abstain? Okay, Madam Clerk, that's unanimous?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, counsel. All right, Mr. Horton, your city manager's report, thank you.
How much are tickets?
$12.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens. I've given you several pieces of paper to look at, and I'm going to try and cover all of them with you, just real briefly. Starting off our report from Public Works,
for everybody's attention, Orange Hall, there will be a fish fry at Orange Hall on June the 8th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. for $12 a plate. Proceeds will be going to the Orange Hall Fund. Mr. Assey, what day is the 8th on?
That'd be Saturday.
That would be a Saturday. Yes, that is
Saturday.
correct. Okay, good. That's June the 8th between 11 and 2 p.m.
So
Thank
not
you.
to jump on the parade, but
That's June the 8th
June the 8th
on Saturday
at Orange Hall.
at Orange Hall.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Saturday market from 9 to 1 is at Orange Hall. And music in the park starts at 6 o'clock that evening. So, and the band is,
The Dive Bombers.
Oh,
The what?
dive bombers.
so if you're not in St. Mary's this Saturday, I'm sorry.
So moving ahead, the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program, just for everyone's information, the second round of application has been submitted on that.
Thank you, sir.
And Mr. Riley, good job. Weeder Street Boat Ramp Gangway is complete. Okay. Pierce Marine has completed the repairs to the fishing pier and the kayak launch and the fixed pier for the kayak launch. IT, the website is undergoing content revision with staff. We hope to have new content by the end of the month for a live rollout soon thereafter. They are coordinating with Public Works for installation of a wireless equipment for cameras in the park, so we've got a better coverage of the park. The downtown camera PO and network equipment has been submitted for approval. I'm pretty sure it's been approved. And the senior center is doing very well as far as operations and everything goes.
Do you have any idea about what the jump in attendance has been yet?
No, sir.
Okay, but it has been a jump in attendance, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so while we're at it, anybody that would like to, this is out to, not only St. Mary's community, but you can come if you live outside of St. Mary's. There is a charge for lunch. If
Are you talking about the aquatic center or are you talking about the senior center?
I'm sorry, I'm on the senior center.
I'm sorry, bad joke.
You gotta stay up with me, okay?
It was just a bad joke, I'm sorry.
Are you still on the Aquatic Center, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Are you still on the Aquatic Center?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
I have noticed an increased number of folks interested in
The
the
parking
party.
lot is packed.
I noticed, but the party, you put out a social media, is she still here? No. What you put out for the party planning, it's blown up. So, good job. Good job on that.
Thank you.
As far as finance goes, ladies and gentlemen, the budget will be in front of council at the next council meeting for approval. And we will be having a work session prior to that council meeting for one last budget workshop to have the discussion that you requested. Our police department has answered 2,851 calls for service. They've conducted 345 traffic stops. And just FYI, these are all separate numbers. Issued 188 citations. They've worked 19 motor vehicle crashes and made 37 arrests. The fire department,
On the police, how many of those 188 were for littering?
they would have to break it all down for us, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We want to stop that littering. Saw it again tonight coming. Just mowed the highway out there and it's full.
Our fire department is averaging 8.2 calls per day for a total of 255 calls this month. Just for information to give you a perspective of the growth of this community, when I took over as fire chief in 2000, we were seeing that number roughly in 6 months.
Wow.
So that gives you an idea there. Fire time response is 2 minutes and 24 seconds. EMS response is 5 minutes and 1 second. They've conducted 69 fire inspections. Our building department, if you've got the big sheet, I know this is one of Mr. Riley's
favorite ones to get. I decided, because I got it today, I just went ahead and printed it out for you to have. There's your totals for your building department all totally. One of the main things I would like to raise up, if you'll look down about mid-sheet, you'll see building permit fee totals for the physical year of '24. We're at $346,505. When we were at this point last year, that was $180,000. So we've doubled in our construction with no changing to the permit fees.
Oh, wow.
Great report, too. Thank you.
Very nice.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes, sir.
So how has the implementation of the online?
It's going very well. We're getting more and more folks on board. There will be more training opportunities for our contractors to get them online so they understand the process a lot better. And that's kind of where we're at with that. We do have one open position for our building inspection department, and that's not a new position. That is an old one. We've had one recently resign.
I have a quick question on your, just out of curiosity. So your number of permits issued was only a difference of about 35 or 34. I can't see, the numbers are so tiny, but it almost doubled. Is it the type of permits that we've been issuing where it doubled with just a
Yes, ma'am.
difference?
Yes, ma'am. If you'll remember, we
Okay.
did have the large apartment complex and everything
Gotcha.
else as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Main Street, they are working they're working with DASM in the final stages of approval for the big business incubator grant. With DDA and DASM have worked together to make sure that two separate grants work together for the betterment of our business community. DDA has provided music for On the Rocks Band for the Hello Summer Fishing Classic this past weekend. The event was well attended, and we were thankful to the Rotary Club for the amazing annual event. They're continuing to work through renewals of business license as well as finalizing their cloud permit portal on online submissions for occupational tax certificates. The DDA is also continues to push forward with the facade grants and plans to continue to push into the new fiscal year. In tourism, the St. Mary's and Cumberland Island featured in Love Exploring and MSN with 60 stunning spots you won't believe in America. Folks, you can put that into your search engines and you can also find that on MSN. But that has created 1.1 billion, I said billion, total impressions. There's been updates to the Marina landing page. Visit stmarysmarina.com. SMAC rack cards have been completed, ordered, and distribution has started. Tourism has assisted with GMA Main Street program city tour that was held a couple of weeks ago. To date, during the July 23 to June 24 period, the St. Mary's Cumberland Island has been featured in 180 published results, generating over 15 billion total impressions and a 548 million total estimate value. Included in these results are 7 articles by writers who have visited St. Mary's, Georgia on press trips, altogether generating 1,130,464,726 impressions with an estimated value of 10,456,799 estimated value. And if I can take the opportunity, I said that big number just so my mother would be impressed that I could say a big number. That was from Mom. Community development. The department has completed a revision of C2 zoning ordinance. New elements include site design criteria for lighting, signage, and landscaping along our commercial corridor, which was an excellent job, Ms. Jamie. Our next ordinance revision will include manufactured housing, short-term rentals, and signage. Their department is in the process of hiring, both for our senior and junior planner positions.
are open and actively being searched. Our Assistant Community Development Director, Tage McMahon, is beginning his arborist training. Tage has joined the International Society of Arborists and begins working towards his arborist certification this summer. His training is supported by a grant from Georgia Forestry in collaboration with the city and the Tree Board.
Nice work.
Our grants department has been working on EV stations, railroad safety, and traffic and transportation, and she is researching also infrastructure grants that are going on. Kicking on down to Aqua Aerobics is on site at Scrubby Bluff finalizing all the controls over the next week or two. If you'll remember, those are the folks that are bringing Scrubby Bluff online with the electronic side of the house, getting all the controls set and everything else. We are still growing the enzymes that are needed to be as a part of the cultivating process of whatever. I hope that sounded like I knew what I was talking about, but I've been schooled. But that's to get everything working. The other sheet of paper that I put in front of you, well, no, I'll take that back. Some of you have seen this before, some of you have not. It's the one that looks like this. This is an estimate that was done in April of 2021 for the rehab of the old city pool. Some of the folks have asked, have we really looked at it? And yes, we have. We have actually scoped the piping around there to try to get in there and see, and we couldn't get the camera in there to see because the old pipes have collapsed. Well, not collapsed, just loaded up with rust to the point you can't get in. But we did go through that, and if you'll look at the number there, $496,000 is the estimate in 21 to rehab that swimming pool. That was the reason the decision was made almost, 2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
To do away with the pool. We are in the process, like I said at our last council meeting, of evaluating the lead paint, and there is one small hot spot for asbestos, which is actually in a seal of a joint on the pump. That's the only hot spot as far as the asbestos goes, but it is loaded down with lead paint. We're trying to find the best, most economic way to mitigate that situation, and also looking at possibility of funding to be able to take care of the lead paint as well as do the demo on the project. So that was just FYI to provide for everyone. That kind of wraps up my report for this evening, Mayor and Council. If you have any questions, please ask.
Can you just add one more thing, just for the benefit of the public around the pool? Because initially it was just the cost of the rehab, and now that further investigation and upon discovering the lead and the asbestos, can you just briefly mention why that's so important in terms of the usability of the pool?
The feasibility of the lead paint and the asbestos would have to be removed regardless. It is not a matter of fact, we got kind of an estimate for the lead paint, and one of them was over $100,000 for lead paint removal, because you have to handle it in certain ways, and so that adds to that whole equation to it. So you figure in comparing 2021 money to 2024 money, and the percentage of increase, I mean, you're talking about some serious money.
I guess I was just trying to get you to answer the question about the fact of being able to swim in a pool where there's lead and asbestos. So that is probably more of a concern to me than anything else. And at the time, that was commonplace to use lead.
In the day, absolutely.
Back in the day.
Absolutely, and actually I'm very surprised that the shingles on the top of the shed
don't have, but they've probably been replaced in the last 15 years. They're notorious for it. But that, and probably some of the coating of the old Romex that was in the building, but that had also, over time, had been changed out. So to get away with what we found was minimized. During the time period the pool was built, that was basically all they used. I mean, the homes had lead paint in them, and asbestos was used for just about anything and everything in the day.
Yeah, and it's tied to a laundry list of different health
Absolutely.
issues. I think that's
Yes, ma'am.
important to note.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
It is.
Probably couldn't put in commission again.
I just wanted to thank Robbie for, there was a lot of chatter on the internet about the pool and how come we want to just destroy it and get rid of it. And you went beyond the call of duty in putting this together. I appreciate that. And not only would it take, even if somebody gave us $500,000 to put a new pool in there now, the people that used the pool before, I think there was maybe about between 20 and 25 people a day that used the pool, and it was like $5 a day. That wouldn't even pay for the lifeguards and
No, sir.
or either the chlorine.
If you'll remember the conversation from our budget workshop, the chlorine has gone up 30% in a year's time.
Yes.
And so those expenses have gone up dramatically since that day.
Yeah, the one at the PSA now, that's a major factor that we have there. It's the cost of chemical is so expensive. We're going to have to do some rearranging to make sure that pool stays open.
Yes.
And thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else for questions? Thank you, sir. Tell everybody we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie.
So this takes us back to granting audience to the public. If you would like to come up, give your name and address, and if you have questions. This is rhetorical, but we will try and give some response afterwards if we can. Thanks.
Bert Seals, 816 Riverview Drive. Just listen to the about the pool. We're gonna need a pool here. We will need one here. We sure do. I was up at St. Simon's this weekend, and their playground was right there, and the pool is real close. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet. It's a form of enjoyment, relaxation. In essence of time, I think it's something we need. We do need a pool. And that pool we had there, that was constructed bad. It wasn't even right. You couldn't even walk in. So I would think that we keep that in mind. I saw Councilman Jones, if you had $500,000, blah, blah, blah. True. But I think we do need a pool as we are growing, as we get better. And the tax base and everything, it will come to play. I think we need a pool. Thank you.
Who's next?
Larry White, 102 Sylvia's Court, St. Mary's. I would like the city staff to, again, investigate and see if there's any way that when you give presentations in city council meeting, when you put them up on the screens, is there any way that you can possibly get those projected out to the public when you do that? So thank you.
Who's next?
Roger Shaw, 30 Marymount Court, St. Mary's. I just want to give big kudos to the police department. I noticed there seems to be an increased presence as far as speeding. Hopefully when I switch from driving my CRV to my F-150, where when you're going 45, it feels like you're walking, I hope I'm not one of the ones they catch. But anyway, I'm glad to see that they're up and about.
Thank you.
My name is Tessie Taliga. I live at 1012 Charlie Smith Senior Highway. Douglas Drive runs behind my house. And I've heard how good Public Works doing on the Orange Hall. But I would like to, if you don't mind, I want to show you some pictures of what the ditch looks like behind my house. I wrote on the back of it what each one of those pictures are. I've been at them for 2 months now to clean my ditch. I've called Public Works, and their excuse was, we're short-handed. But you can have them up there working in Orange Hall, but you can't get the ditches cleaned out. Right down the street, 2 blocks from here, the guttering on Conyer Street and Reddy Street, and I know a councilman that's sitting up there that a year ago told Public Works about it, and it still isn't cleaned out. So I'm trying to figure out what my tax dollars are going to, that I can't get my ditch cleaned out.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, I mean, and it's not like I haven't called, because I do, because there's one spot there that there's actually a culvert that has to run the water across my property to keep my yard from flooding. You can't even see the culvert now.
And what was your address again?
So, yeah.
What was your address one more time?
Mr. Liga. Give him your address again, please.
1012 Charlie Smith Senior Highway, and it's the ditch on Douglas Drive. Because the ditch runs the length of my property. But my address is 1012 Charlie Smith.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Don't forget your phone.
What?
Don't forget your phone.
My what?
Did you leave her phone or?
No, that's the picture.
Oh, the picture.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
they're
okay.
passing
Yeah,
around
okay.
looking.
Okay, great. Thought it was on your phone.
I want to see.
Nobody has pictures.
All right. Mr. Horton, thank you for taking the note on that. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right. Thank you very much, folks.
And I don't really need the pictures back, because I have them on my phone.
All right. Madam Clerk, can we have the calendar read, please?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, June 4th, at 3 o'clock p.m. here in Council Chambers, the Orange Hall Management Committee meeting. We'll have a work session regarding the fish fry. On Wednesday, June 5th, 5 o'clock p.m. in the Main Street office is the Development Authority St. Mary's meeting. On Monday, June 10th, at 8:30 a.m. in the Main Street office is the Downtown Development Authority meeting. On Tuesday, June 11th, at 5:30 p.m. here in Council Chambers, the Planning Commission meeting. On Thursday, June 13th at 9:30 a.m., the Orange Hall Management Committee regular meeting here in Council Chambers, followed by the 5 o'clock p.m. St. Mary's Intracoastal Gateway meeting at the Main Street office. And on Monday, June 17th, before the 6 o'clock City Council meeting, the City Manager stated there'll be a work session. I guess the time will be later, and then followed by the 6 o'clock p.m. City Council meeting.
Mr. Horton, what would you like to do for that budget work session? 5 o'clock? I think 5 o'clock. Okay. You got that, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We did have one thing. I'm not sure. Was this from you or somebody in the council?
That was.
I think it's
that
from
would be-
Robert.
I'll talk about that.
Okay, all right. I just didn't want to miss it. All right, council comments and all that. Why don't we, I think we're done with the calendar. So Artie, did you want to?
Okay, since you brought this up, I was given this by one of our county commissioners, and this is Camden County School Summer Meals Program, and it's a grab-and-go drive-up schedule for buses, and it's got all of the dates that you can get free meals during the summer. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone in St. Mary's had a schedule of this or knew about it, because a lot of people in St. Mary's don't eat very well. Well, not just St. Mary's, but all over the county. And this would be a big help to them. And Mayor, I don't know if we could put this on our website or not, but if we could, I'd like for this schedule to be put on our website.
We could probably, I see where it is. We'll go in and try and get better copies and then.
Okay.
Charlie, I see you shaking your head if you could help with that. And then we'll put it on the bulletin board out front. I think we got room.
Okay. And because of COVID a few years ago, Coastal Pine Technical College was not able to have their grand opening. So the grand opening will be held Tuesday, June 11th at 10 a.m. And they've put on a new edition since the last time anyone has been out there. So that's Tuesday, June 11th at 10 o'clock. Everyone is invited for the grand opening. I didn't realize it, but this month, June, is my birthday, and also
You didn't realize
it's
it.
Senior Abuse.
You did not realize your birthday.
Well, I'm just, and listen, I'm not finished yet. And it's Senior Abuse Awareness Month also.
Okay.
And I talked with I've had a brief conversation with the chief, and I want to get with our senior center director and see if we can maybe do some things to let them know about what comprises as abuse. And I think the chief was saying his deputies, they have all of this information, and I think it's a good thing that we should be involved in. As a matter of fact, Mayor, I'd like to see if we couldn't get a proclamation or something saying that making this Senior Abuse Awareness Month for the city of St. Mary's.
Okay. Madam Clerk, you and I can get together on this.
Yes, sir.
Jamie, you probably take more abuse than anybody else in the city besides Robbie. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate you and what you did. You too, Robbie, but especially you, Jamie, because you just got here and you stepped in a hornet's nest, and you've weathered the storm. And thank you for being a part of us, and don't think you're going to be leaving anytime soon, because you're not. And Chief, is there any way that we as citizens can report littering if we see somebody littering? I mean, I hate to be a rat and squealing on people, but this is getting ridiculous. Areas properly mowed and it looks good, and then you come back along there and you see a line of trash all along there where either it fell out of the back of a car or a truck, or somebody just threw bags out.
Yeah.
If you see this happen, and if a citizen see this happen, is there any way that we can report it?
Come on up, Chief, please.
Yes, sir. They can call the not-emergency number at 729-1442, and if they will get us a tag number and obviously leave their information, we'll actually try to make contact with the offender, and then if we issued a citation, that person would become a witness as to what they done, and we'll go back and pick up what they threw out.
Could we have that put on Facebook, your Facebook page, the police
Yes, sir.
departments, and then that way we can share it?
All right, we'll do it.
And appreciate that.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Connor.
Well, it's always tough to come behind Artie. I mean, he does a great job. But you know something, I've been on city council now for, heck, a year and a quarter, maybe a little bit more than a quarter. And I've seen our city grow as far as getting new people in our city working. And Jamie, you do a great job. Okay, we got a new sergeant. We got this, that, and the other, and y'all do such a great job. Captain and sergeant. Okay, and hey, just think, I'm gonna get that right one day, But and all the people that have been here forever too. I appreciate y'all so much, because I'm going to tell you something. Whenever we're talking about all this stuff as far as the budget is concerned, that takes a lot of work, takes a lot of dedication, takes a lot of work, and I appreciate all y'all, and thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You missed it, Sergeant Captain Iverson, but he gave you.
Except by the time I leave here, I'll just be.
Got demoted and rehired.
Sergeant Captain Iverson. Artie, you did mention your birthday, and I was going to say that my birth year was the same year you were buying a house at Sand Hill Road, which you mentioned. I just picked up on that earlier in the conversation tonight.
Good one. You got any more?
I don't have the senior center numbers of the increase, but I did speak with Miss Alley before the meeting, and we had been talking about some things with the senior center previously, but she said that their exercise classes previously were like 4. I don't know if that's in a week or a month or whatever, but it's up to 50 per day. So that's 4 per day. They're up to 15. So just to give an idea of the new facility, it's being noticed, and there is a lot of new participants at the senior center, so it's going very well. Outside of that, I don't have much. We kind of got it all out today, so it'll be quick and easy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my comments have to do with Tabby Trail. You heard that we submitted the second level application. They'll get back to us if there's any changes. Again, now we're in the effort that's is not competitive. All we have to do is meet and be able to do what we said we could, and we feel very confident that that's not going to be a problem. But anyway, we did finish that. We had a visit and an inspection by Miss. Let me get this name. Saji Naji is, I think, her name, and she's the superintendent, or not superintendent, but the director of the GOSP grant. She was in to inspect the territory. We had 3 of us go with her, and that was Bobby, Terry Landreth, who's been with me on bikes. Well, he's been doing bikes long before I got on council, so he's back in the 2000 range, and the inspection went quite well, and we finished that, and we haven't heard anything back from that, and again, it'll be one of those things that she'll get back with us on. And we also initiated contact with Fernandina Beach last year. We're going to discuss the ferry between St. Mary's and Fernandina Beach, and that's just discussions at this point. We don't have anything. We're taking a look at a way how we can get around the fact that the first person that won, or first company that won the contract to run that ferry has not started it up, and so we're looking at how we can get that thing going. There's a lot of discussions that we're initiating at this point, and we'll have more as we go forward. And one of the questions on the ditch cleaning, I don't even, oh, there she is, yeah. You may have noticed, I don't know if you're in here for the budget, but we did hire a second crew in the stormwater area, and the purpose of them is so the Public Works can get caught up on some of those ditches. So hopefully here in the near future, you'll see some benefit. Those, of course, won't be hired till next budget year, so don't look for it tomorrow. But we, as a city, know we got to get those ditches cleaned out and it's really a stormwater issue when we get a lot of rain, flooding, and hurricanes. Those ditches can become a problem. And I'd just like to thank Artie for bringing up the issue with the littering. Now, I'm not the only one up there yelling about littering. We do need to get it under control. I know the chief and his entire crew over there is working on it, and I appreciate that. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Try to make it quick. Cumberland Home and Hearth, Southern Riverwalk and Bar, the Kiwanis Club of St. Mary's are going to work together this Saturday to do the Orange Hall and the new cookhouse And so we're excited to be able to do this. And I'm gonna chime in on the 4th of July festival. Less than a month ago, Angela and I were discussing this, and my barge and tugboat service, we've always been able to get them for free, thankfully, but our barge service and tugboat service canceled out on us this year. And so which means we have to find someone, and we have to potentially pay them. First bid I had come in was $20,000. Well, that's as expensive as it is to do the fireworks. And then we got a local company. We reached out to Andy Pierce and his barge and tugboat, and fuel prices and other things. In a short story, make it short. He's agreed to do this. He agreed to allow us to use his barge and tugboat for $5,000, and this is the first time in many years. And Greg's been in Kiwanis longer than I have, and I don't think that, at least since I've been in Kiwanis, we've always been able to get a free service, and this time we're going to have to pay. And so, anyways, I encourage you to help the city and help Kiwanis out in supporting this effort. Angela, would you like to help us? And Greg, thank you for printing these up. And Greg Lockhart. So, do you have anything you want to recap on the 4th of July festival?
I would just say that Greg will have those posters out soon, and included will be the schedule.
She said, could you please come up to the podium? Thank you.
I tried, thank you.
I would just say Greg will have the posters out soon. That has complete details. It'll have the website, the schedule, and everyone please get it on your calendar. If someone is interested in sponsoring any fees for the festival, they can reach out to Kiwanis or reach out to me, and I'll put you in contact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks.
That's it.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, a couple different things. I'll try to be brief. One is many times we've had our council comments, and you hear thank you to the staff. And so I want to thank our city staff, but I want to be more specific in how I'm thanking them this evening. You heard the mayor mention earlier about the growth phase that we're in terms of our budget. We're in a growth budget. But we have, and I'm going to say in the last 4 years, almost 4 years, that I've sat on this council, there's been multiple times where we were presented with a drawing, a concept, or what have you, and our city staff, we've discussed multiple different projects, and right now there's like 8 of those projects that we've discussed that are coming in the process of coming to fruition. And so most of the times when we're done with the discussion, we hand those over to the staff. We do not come in every day, just in case you were wondering, and sit in the office here and work on these projects. But our staff does. And we trust their technical expertise to be able to take those projects from that piece of paper, that drawing, that spreadsheet, and the multiple questions. If you see, there's 7 very different folks up here with different questions and different requests for those projects. So led by our city manager and the technical knowledge of the different staff members that we have, the planning department, and a lot of times, a lot of these different departments have to work together in order to be able to, facilitate some of these projects. So I want to specifically thank you all for, one is letting us trust you and, continuing to trust you just because of what you've been able to do. And I do believe that our staff is committed to excellence. It's not an easy job that y'all do. I know we say a lot of times our job isn't easy, but really your job isn't easy. So I want to thank you guys. If you're staff and you're sitting here, please stand up. I just really want to thank you, including the city manager and Assistant City Manager. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Blackerby?
Thank you.
All right,
Oh.
our attorney.
And then secondly, school is out for the summer, and I just want to encourage y'all in terms of firearm safety. You guys had those gun locks the other day, and I've been sharing the one that I have and asking people if they have one. So firearm safety, we have all the poisonous snakes that there are in the country in Georgia, so be on the lookout for that. And then back to the elder abuse, as a financial services representative, working in the financial industry for almost, well, over 30 years. I'm trying to say it without giving away my age. One of the biggest pieces is financial elder abuse. And there is a number that you can call if you suspect that a family member, friend, or neighbor is being abused in that way, or in any way, really. The number is 1-800-677-1116, and they will direct you as to which department you need to report to. Wednesday at 11 o'clock, to that note, I'm actually teaching an identity theft class at the senior center. So I hope that if you are eligible to attend the senior center, that you'll come out and get some great information. Thank you, guys. That's all I have for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of the senior center, if you really want to be entertained, bingo on Thursday at 11 o'clock may be conducted by somebody that you know. This is my third time, and it is a lot of fun. And I would, anybody that might be interested in doing that, speak to Rachel. She's very open to that, and it's a lot of fun. The seniors enjoy it, and I've enjoyed it, and I don't know if everybody else here has had a chance to do it yet, but it's fun.
June 20th, if you want to see how it's really done.
There you go. Voting, hopefully some of you have seen, or all of you have seen, early voting is now going to start on June 8th. And it, June 6th, wrong note. It starts at June 6th, and that goes through June 14th, and then voting is on June 18th. So just please mark your calendars. The final thing is, and everybody's talked about it again, this Saturday is a great classic St. Mary's Day Saturday market, 9 to 1, Orange Hall, fish fry, 11 to 2 at Orange Hall, and the Bombers start at 6 o'clock with a concert. So it's a great day. You should be down here and enjoying yourself. And thank you for the folks that are viewing or will view, but thank you for the folks that are here. So with that, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, let me ask that again. Could I have a motion to adjourn? All right, Mr. Jones, and a second from Ms. James. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous. Thank you, everyone.
sir.
Have a nice night.
We all said it at the same time.
We're getting better. We're getting better. Yes, sir.